What's up, guys? It's Ten back here with another video, and this is my second video of the day. And today's video, the topic of today's video, I'm going to be reviewing my top 5 male superstars and the top 5 female superstars of the week. Of 2019 so far. And at the end of this video, I'm going to be doing my top 5 male and top 5 women predictions for the end of 2019, because I will be making a video in December to seeing how I did and giving my review on the overall who did the best for both male and female in 2019. So first, we're going to start off from the female category. But before I start it, this is just my opinion. You could have your own opinion, and I will be giving a reason why I put these people in these type of orders. So first, at number 5, we have Asuka. First we have Lacey Evans. Lacey Evans has been doing good since she had that storyline for the Raw Women's Championship. She has not won any titles yet, but maybe we'll see more from Lacey Evans throughout this year. But Lacey Evans did good, but she wasn't as good as the rest of the women on this list. Next, we have number 4. We have Asuka, one half of the Kabuki Warriors. I put Asuka as number 4 because she was SmackDown Live Women's Champion, but ever since she lost it, she has been just going in a downward spiral, and I do not know what they're doing with Asuka and Kairi Sane now, but hopefully we get to see Asuka have more TV time and more storylines. But I just put Asuka as number 4 for those reasons. Next up, at the number 3 slot, we have Carmella. I put Carmella at the number 3 slot because Carmella has been doing phenomenal. Or, I'm not going to say phenomenal. I'm going to say she has been doing good in 2019. She was the winner of the second ever Women's Battle Royal on the WrestleMania kickoff. And she has been doing great with R-Truth, and they are what fans really want to see on both SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw. So that's why I put Carmella at number 3, and maybe she'll move higher on the list later on in 2019. Next up, we have a 3-way tie for number 2, and we have Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, Ronda Rousey, the 3 women who main evented WrestleMania for the first time ever. I put them at number 2 slot because they all had championships in 2019. All 3 of them main evented, but I put Becky Lynch higher because she did end up winning that main event, and she was the first ever dual crowned women's champion. So that's why I put Becky Lynch higher than them, but they are all equally did the same, and they all equally did good. But after WrestleMania, all 3 of them ended up just being like mid-carders now and not doing much. So that's why I put them at number 2. I was originally going to put Becky at at number 1, but she did not do as good as this woman did. So at the number 1 slot for the woman, we have the first ever woman Grand Slam champion, Bayley. Bayley has had a phenomenal 2019 so far. Many people have probably not noticed, but she has won the Raw Women's Championship, even though that was in 2017. But this year, she has won the Women's Tag Team Championships, Money in the Bank, and the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, which that is absolutely incredible, and she has done the best for female, in my opinion, and hopefully it's in your opinion. So I think that Bayley is going to have an amazing career this year. She already has a great start. Will she keep this thing going and maybe win more championships? But we'll have to wait and see. But those are my top 5 women superstars of 2019 so far. Now we move on to the male category. At number 5, we have a tie between Baron Corbin and the phenomenal AJ Styles. These 2 men have been doing exactly kind of the same AJ Styles won his match at WrestleMania. So did Baron Corbin. AJ Styles went after the Universal Championship, and so did Corbin. So these men are kind of like tied for number 5 slots. But I do end up putting Styles a little bit before Baron Corbin, because I think Styles is the better wrestler and Baron Corbin is kind of a good wrestler, but he's not as good as AJ Styles. Number 4, this might come as a shock to some of you guys, but I put Brock Lesnar at the number 4 slot because he was Universal Champion and he did end up winning the Money in the Bank contract, even though he did end up doing good, and he did end up showing up from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live after winning the Money in the Bank briefcase, but he has not been shown on TV ever since. And he did end up going to Super Showdown. But I think that maybe we will see a new, maybe Brock Lesnar, and he'll start showing up more frequently, because now he's trying to chase after the championship. It's not the other way around when someone's trying to chase after him. So maybe we'll get to see a new Brock Lesnar. And this one also might come as a shock to you guys. I didn't think this person was going to be on the list. But Shane McMahon is moving up to the number 3 slot, surprisingly, because he has not lost ever since he won at WrestleMania, as I said in my video, the weekly video I just made today. And he has beaten Miz 3 times, not even once, 3 times, and he has beaten Roman Reigns, and not many people can say they've beaten Roman Reigns. But yeah, Shane McMahon has moved up to the number 3 slot, and that is pretty, I think, a shock to most of the WWE universe, and it has come to a shock to me, because I didn't think he was going to place this high on my list. Next, we move on to the number 2 slot, and number 1 and number 2 were kind of hard to pick, because both these men have been doing great in 2019, but at the number 2 slot, we have Kofi Kingston, a part of the New Day. Kofi Kingston has had a phenomenal 2019. He has been doing so good. We saw Kofi Mania. Fans have been getting really behind him, and he is the WWE champion at this time. I don't know how long he is going to hold that WWE championship, because as we know, he is facing Dolph Ziggler in a steel cage match at Stomping Ground, and if it wasn't for Xavier Woods at Super Showdown, Dolph Ziggler would be the WWE champion. But Kofi Kingston is number 2 so far in WWE, in my opinion. And at the number 1 slot, we obviously, if you guys have been watching WWE, we obviously know this slot has to go to Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins has had an amazing 2019, and he always has an amazing year. He was I think, Superstar of the Year for 2018, and maybe he'll get to be Superstar of the Year for 2017. So 2017, 2019, oh, he's right there and right there. So I think that Seth Rollins is going to be a top guy. I think he should already be the top guy of the WWE. And maybe we'll get to see more of Seth Rollins in 2019. And maybe we'll get to see him dominate 2019 like he already has. But now we get to the end of the video, which is my predictions for who is going to be the top 5 male and female superstars for the rest of 2019. So first we go to number 5 on the women's side. We have the Kabuki Warriors. I think the Kabuki Warriors will be number 5 for the end of 2019, because I think they will get a big push and maybe get the championships, because I know many fans have been wondering where they have been on SmackDown Live and Monday Night Raw. Well, SmackDown Live, since they are on SmackDown Live. And where they have been in the tag team title picture, so maybe we'll get to see them win the tag team titles. Maybe we'll get to see them win championships by themselves, but I think the Kabuki Warriors will be at the number 5 slot by the end of the year. I think this woman at the number 4 slot, Mandy Rose, I think this woman will be a phenomenal star in 2019 in the SmackDown division, or maybe the Raw division. But I think that Mandy Rose will end up getting a huge push for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. I know she was going to get one around WrestleMania time, but of course that had to get scrapped. But I think that Mandy Rose will move up to the number 4 slot by the end of 2019. This woman obviously is going to have an amazing 2019. We have Becky Lynch, the man, at the number 3 slot. Becky, I think she will end up losing the Raw Women's Championship. Maybe she'll lose it at Stomping Ground. Maybe she'll lose it at SummerSlam. I do not know. But I think that Becky Lynch will be at the number 3 slot. She'll move down from number 2 all the way to number 3. But that's just my opinion. But at the number 2 slot, we have this woman who will stay at the number 2 slot. We have Charlotte Flair. Charlotte will probably have like 15 championships by the end of 2019. But you know, I think Charlotte Flair will be at the number 2 slot by the end of the year because Charlotte already has had an amazing career. I'm just not talking about 2019. I'm talking about overall. And I think that she will be SmackDown Live and Raw Women's Champion again. And this is not the end of Charlotte Flair. Even though she's not in the title picture, that doesn't mean she will not be in the title picture after Becky is done or Bayley is done with their challengers. And now we move on to the number 1 slot. I think this woman is going to get a humongous push in the women's division. I think this woman deserves to get a push for the title. We have Ember Moon going on to the number 1 slot. I think she'll have an amazing career. I think she'll win both the Raw and SmackDown Live Women's Championships, hopefully. And I think that Ember Moon deserves to have championship opportunities. So I think Ember Moon will be the top female superstar by the end of 2019. Next up, we move to the male category. We have Kofi Kingston at the number 5 slot. I think Kofi will end up losing his championship in like the middle of 2019. And I think he'll move down to the number 5 slot. He will not stay at that number 2 slot for very long. So Kofi will end up taking the number 5 slot at the end of the year. We'll see Bray Wyatt return to action, and he'll move up to the number 4 slot. I think they have big plans for Bray Wyatt because he has been keeping Monday Night Raw afloat for the past weeks. So I think that Bray Wyatt will move up to the number 4 slot by the end of 2019. Next up at the number 3 slot, we have Andrade. Andrade, I know WWE wants him to be this big Mexican and Latin star now that they are moving back. Now that they are moving to Fox, I think around fall time or September. So I think that he will be a big star in the WWE, and he'll move up to the number 3 slot by the end of the year. Seth Rollins is my number 2. He will still be a big star. He just won't be at the number 1 slot. He'll be at the number 2. Seth Rollins, I think, will hold on for the Universal Championship for a little bit longer. He won't lose it too soon, and he won't be champion for as long as Brock Lesnar was. I think he'll have it for like maybe a couple more months, maybe around like SummerSlam, Survival Series time. But I think that Seth Rollins will move to the number 2 slot by the end of 2019. And now we have the number 1 slot. I think this person deserves and will get a big push, and that is Finn Balor. He'll get the WWE push. Maybe he'll get a Universal push since he never lost that championship. And I really hope that Finn Balor will be a huge star by the end of 2019. And maybe we'll get to see him get a big push later on this year. But those are my predictions for the top 5 male and female superstars of 2019 so far. And the top 5, I think, at the end of the year. Hopefully you guys like this video. Leave your predictions down in the comments below on who you think. And leave your thoughts on who you think is the top 5 superstars so far. Like, comment, and subscribe, and see you guys in the next video. Bye, champs.